good afternoon, good evening to you all. Welcome to the Hump Day edition of the Full 100. It is Wednesday the 9th of December, and today is the second part to my three-part video series regarding the cancer within the black communities. Those of you who saw my video on Monday know that we went out to discuss the cancer of racism within certain white sections of this country. But we also have cancers. And last week, Wednesday, I addressed the first one, which is pedophilia and the sexualization of our young girls that certain sections of our community still have. And I want to thank everybody who responded to that video. Great feedback from that video. I want to thank everybody, and I also still want to thank Afua. If you see these videos, get in touch, okay? We got loads we can talk about. And yeah, so today's video is the second part of that cancer, which is black on black violence. Now, I want to apologize because I really hate using the term black on black violence. I want to apologize to anybody who like me, hates that term. I'm apologizing to you in advance. But there's a reason I'm using it just for this show. Because I'm going to show you statistics that there's no different with our race as black people killing other black people. Because that's exactly what happens within races. Pakistanis will kill more Pakistanis than any other race. Whites will kill more whites than any other race. But it's been politicized to make it look like we are at the top of the food chain when it comes to targeting each other. Having said that, there is a valid point to it still. There is a valid point to it. And that's what this show is about. So without further ado, let's get to today's show. To set off the mood and why I've had to do this video, I want to start with a clip that I've broken into two clips. So I'm going to start off the video with that clip, just so you guys understand the pain and what's prompted me to do this video, so you can feel what I felt when I saw this video. I saw this video about a month or so ago, and I saved it because I wanted to address it, but there was so much news sucking up the air in the room, I haven't got round to addressing it until now. So take a look at my first video. It's an auntie who's just lost her nephew, and it's sad to watch. But she tells some goddamn truths. Take a look.
Let me ask y'all a question. Why do y'all keep saying Black Lives Matter? I'm sleeping, and I get a call tonight. Okay? These motherfuckers shot my nephew in the head. Yeah. Going to the store. Took me a little minute to make this video because you know what? I had to get myself together. They shot my nephew. Mine. So tell me, what the fuck was all that marching in the street for? Looking like fucking coons in the street? Huh? Who the fuck does Black Lives Matter to? Tell me right now. Who? You motherfuckers is out in the street doing dumb shit. Selling poison to your own fucking people and everything else. Shooting and killing one another. Fuck Black Lives Matter. Because it doesn't even matter to you, does it? Does it? It doesn't. You treat your women like trash. Let me tell you who the fucking problem is. The black man. I said it. And you can take that however the fuck you want to take it. You sit up here and you blame everybody else for your fucking problems. But who the fuck is selling drugs in the street, killing their own fucking people? Gang banging, fighting, arguing over bullshit like turf. Oh, you're on my block. You shouldn't be on my block. The fuck is that? Cooning in these fucking streets. For what? You got that fucked up slave mentality. And you refuse to reprogram your mind. You refuse to wake up. And you refuse to stop being a fucking slave.
Welcome back, guys. Pretty sad. I've got a second part to that video to show you guys. But let's go into some conversations about this first, guys. I wanna a lot of people can't put their finger on why things have turned this way. And I think I can. Because I come from that world. And I'm now in this world. And I came from that world at a time. Those of you who were teenagers between teenage and 25 years old, between 1980 and say 2000, see in that 20-year span, I was 13 in 1980. I turned 20 in 1987. So by 1990, I was 23. I was in that now at-risk group of young black men. And those of you who come from that generation, like myself, older slightly and younger slightly, you remember that we didn't lose friends. When I see these number of 14, 16, 18, 19, 21, 23, 14, 15, 19, when I see these kids dying like nothing, yeah? I try and rack my brain and remember, when did I first lose a friend to violence growing up? And I worked it out. Those of you from Tottenham remember Glenn Jones. He was stabbed in a fight, rest his soul. And if his family see this, we've never forgotten Glenn. And I'm apologizing in advance for using him. But Glenn was truly the first person I know who died of violence. And I was 3 years, I think, older than Glenn. And Glenn died when I was probably around 23, 24. And it was up until then. And it was a fight. It was two people fighting. He got stabbed in the neck and he passed away, unfortunately. I didn't lose a friend until my 20s. And I didn't lose anybody else. I've racked my brain coming up to this show. We heard of stabbings. Yeah, there were stabbings, there were slashings. But I didn't lose any friends until really 30s. 30. About 30 when things really got serious. Of course you heard of people dying, but they weren't young people. There were serious people that were dying. Serious guys who were now in their mid-30s, and you hear this one got shot by Yardies, or this one got shot by another serious guy, but they were older than us. We're now living in a time where if you're between 12, even, I'm going as low as 12, and it makes me want to cry. If you're between 12 and 25, that's where you're most at risk. That's changed in 20 plus years. You was most safest in that age group because no one in that age group was really killing one another. It was the big older boys that were doing that. And then when we got to 30s and stuff, that's when we saw it. Because now we was now in that age bracket. But now we've brought the age bracket by 20 years back. And I think one of the main reasons is that when I was growing up, if you take 100 people from Brixton, from Cardiff, from Tottenham, from Hackney, from Birmingham, anywhere where there's, you can say, gangsters or bad dudes, if you take 100 of them when I was growing up, only 5 of them were serious guys capable of committing murder. Out of 100, only 5. Then you'll have another 15 on top of those 5 who will commit murder if pushed. But they weren't like the other 5. They weren't looking for it. They weren't tooled up every day, ready to go to war. So that's 20. So 5 who out of the 100, you can tell, yeah, these was the serious guys in the neighborhood. And then you got another 15 who were quite serious guys, but one notch down. That's 20, right? The other 80, you can carve up and say 50 of the remaining 80 were just hustlers and didn't carry weapons, but would fight, would defend themselves. They weren't mugs. right? So that's 50. Now the other 30 were what you might call just the guys from the neighborhoods who probably were into their bits and pieces, but they were just easygoing guys. So really, if you grew up in my time, you only really had to worry about 5 of every 100 people. Today, the way I see today, you got 95 out of the 100 wannabe killers. It's totally flipped upside down now, where everybody wants to be a gunslinger, everybody wants to be a knife-wielding Zorro, everybody wants to be known as more violent than the next guy. That's one of the first reasons. The second main reason is what we're discussing now, black on black narrative. That narrative has gone hand in hand with something many of you haven't noticed. When I was growing up, there was a feeling that murder was easy to get away with. You rob a Rolex in the city, there was people who tell you they got done, they got found them, and then you know people who have done a murder and they're still about. So the authorities, in my opinion, slowly and slowly and slowly will pick off one murderer at a time. They'll pick off one perpetrator. You heard he got life. Pick up one every so often, but was never enough. While that was happening and creeping into our communities, the narrative was following it. The narrative of black on black. So you're putting in people's heads that there is such a thing as black on black violence, which is a fake narrative. When you put that together with another narrative that's seeping into the community, that is easier to get, I can kill this guy and get away with it. I know Joe Bloggs across the road, he did it, he got away with it. I know Kevin Bloggs over there, he did it, he got away with it. I know Martin Bloggs over there, he did it, he got away with it. Yeah, and when I was in prison, I met this other guy who got away with it and they just done him for a fray, but he got away with, So there was so much people around the black community who'd got away with murder that what the authorities was teaching our community was that it's easy to get away with murder. Whereas when you live in a white community, and if you're around white people, you get a completely different narrative. White people don't think it's easy to get away with murder. That's why they put efforts into getting away with it. We don't. We just smoke. We just shoot. We just stab. Those guys, the other communities are more meticulous about how they do it because that narrative isn't in their communities. It's in ours. So when you add the fact that they've taught us, let me use the word taught us, that black on black violence is a thing and it's just us, which I'm going to show you a statistic to show you that that's not the truth. While they were teaching us that black on black is a thing, they were also teaching us that, well, when you do it, you can get away with it. You got a higher chance of getting away with it. You add the two things together, plus what I mentioned earlier, which is that now you take 100 people, before 5 of them was killers, now you got 95 of them are either killers or actually trying to be killers so they can be like the other 95. When you add all those components together, my friends, my people, we are where we are. I don't want this to be a lecture. I want this to be an awakening because I want to finish the video by suggesting what each and every one of us can do to start winding back. If we can, I'm not here saying my video is going to change the world, but you know what? Sometimes it just takes you over there, me over here, that one over there, this one at the school there, that one who set up a little group, a little community center, this one over here that's, talking to this mother who's got 4 sons, and of those 4 sons, 2 of them are bad breed kids, and, You know, you chain those two, the two other two brothers chain, they got a gang, the gang mellows down. We can all, there's all little pieces of things that we can do. There isn't just one thing that we do that just changes this whole thing. It's gone way too deep. So let me show you the second video, and then I'm going to show you the statistics. So take a look at my the second part of this video.
You have nobody else to blame but your goddamn self. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. They took my nephew, man. Black Lives Matter to who? Who? Who the fuck do they matter to? It doesn't even matter to each other. We look at each other with fucking hate in our eyes. Hate! But you're out there kissing everybody else's ass. You don't even love yourself. How the fuck are you gonna expect somebody else to love you? Tell me! Wake up, goddammit! We're an endangered species because of us, nobody else. People treat you the way that you treat yourself. How you feel on the inside is how the fuck you get treated. So if you feel like trash, they're gonna treat you like fucking trash. And it's clear how we feel about ourselves. Look how we treat each other. Fuck all of y'all, man. Fuck this shit.
Welcome back, guys. Again, that's the last part of the video. If she gets to see this, because you never know who, I mean, I got people talking to me from Germany and all sorts of places. So if she does get to see this, my heart and my family's heart goes out to your loss, goes out to you and your family's loss, okay? I need I believe you aired this video to get to people. So that's why I'm using it. Guys, I'm going to show you some statistics now. You hear about black on black crime, right? I'm going to put up the statistics, but let me just run through a couple of things. This is by race, right? White people, this is in 2000, and this is an American statistic, but it's the same wherever you go. If you go to India today and you got minorities over here, I don't know, Muslims, and you got Hindus, you're going to find that Hindus kill more Hindus and Muslims kill more Muslims. It's the same. It's just a narrative that they've put on our shoulders. They've looked, all black people across the world have this elephant sitting on their shoulder. Like we're the only ones who do this. So look at the statistics, yeah? White people in 2013, 3,005 killed. At the hands of white people, 2,509. Of the 3,005, 2,509. So really just under 500. Of the 3,005, only 500 were not killed by white people. Okay? Blacks, 2,491 were killed in that year. 2,491. Of that, 2,245 were killed by blacks. Now, the number of whites killed by blacks, 409. And by other races, 49. That's by whites. By blacks, when in the deaths of blacks, of the nearly 2,500, so 2,491, 189 were killed by white people. 189 only. By blacks, 2,245. And by other races, 20. Now listen to other races bunched together. 159 total deaths in 2013 of other races that died. 159 from murder. Of that, 32 were killed by whites. 27 were killed by blacks. 96. So of 159, 96, nearly 100. So it's only really 32 and 27. That's what, 50, 59? Of 159, only 59 were not killed by other. So take a look at the statistics. I'm going to put it up now. Now, although there is a whole nother conversation to be had, because when you think about it, black people are only 13%, 13 of that country. And yet the difference between the murder rates of the two races is literally just over 500. Even though we're 13%, the whites are like 69, I believe, 65, 69%. And we're 13%. So where we die disproportionately. That's without a shadow of a doubt. But that's a whole nother topic. That's not the topic we're dealing with today. What we're dealing with today is who's killing who. And the crux of this show, guys, is every race is killing each other just as much. So if you're going to say black on black violence, let's call it white on white violence. Let's call it other and other on other violence. Whatever race you want to give me, you give it to me. They're all killing each other more than any other race is killing them. But the narrative is only on us. But I've had to use it today for the purpose of this. Now, I want to quickly touch on things like what we can do. Whenever you come across videos, mums, dads, uncles, guardians, granddads, grandmothers, we need to now start exposing this up and coming, plus those in the game already, yeah, to positive stuff. Start teaching them different. And this is really hard to do. It's really hard to tell people like I'm righteous. I'm not. It's really tough. And there is, like I said, there is no one bat that we can take to this problem and just bat it out of our communities. There isn't. But we need to recognize it. The authorities need to start doing a better job. We need to start putting the fright of the consequences of actions in our children a lot more and a lot more forcibly. And there's one other thing I'm going to suggest that people are going to like about me. Thank God I never had to do it with any one of my children. But if I had to, I would have. That's why I can say this. We need to start calling the police on these children, on our own children, to save them. Not to get them in trouble, to save them. We need to start considering picking the right moments to show them tough love. Because tough love has been missing from our communities for 2 generations at least. At least 2 generations. We need to bring it back. I had other ways of showing my children tough love. I linked successes to buying them a car when they got their A-levels. I linked teaching them to drive, linked with passing your GCSEs. I linked giving them, graduation, limousine and holiday, come over to Barcelona, I linked do well and you get this. Do well and this happens. Do well and this happens. And it's constant. You've got to constantly. And I'm proud to say my 2 oldest are graduates. My daughter's just got a master's degree in law. My second is 29, a year younger than her. He graduated, he got his A-levels, then he graduated in performing arts. He's an actor. He's still trying to make his way to the big league, but he's got a fantastic job and done a few bits and pieces in acting. So I've raised 2 successful children, even though I wasn't probably the best candidate to have had success with children. But it's about do as I say, not do as I do. But then when you do that, you've got to know what you're saying. And that's what this is about. Guys, it's all about finding what works for your family. But this is a serious issue that we must tackle as a community. So I want to end the video by saying thank you very much for listening to me. Next week, we're going to deal with the lack of support and more into the depth of the hate, but the lack of support and encouragement within the black community. And we're too quick to tear down a black person just because we don't want that black person to go ahead of us sometimes. We're going to deal with that next week. So guys, thank you very much again for listening to my show. Please share it. Please hit the subscribe button so you do not miss the 3rd part of this trilogy of videos. I look forward to seeing you all on Friday. Have a fantastic evening. Please share the video. Please subscribe. And I'll see you all soon. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.